Okay, let's get started. That was all.
Thanks very much, Lynn.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lynn Frydman Kuhn, President of Swiss Ceramics, and I'd like to welcome you to this webinar about the 50th IAC Congress in Geneva, and thank everyone for Zooming in, especially those of you that got up very early this morning, and those of you that stayed up very late at night to tune in and to see us. Each of us will represent and talk about a different part of the Congress. You can write questions in the chat, please, and all of the questions will be answered at the end of the webinar. Presently, I'm in the beautiful Ariana Museum, the birthplace of the IAC in 1952. It's perfectly situated in the International Center of Geneva, right next to the iconic United Nations building. I can actually see it from the window right here, where culture and politics merge. The perfect spot to celebrate the Congress theme, Melting Pot. We've planned an incredible 5-day program for you, including more than 35 influential partners, museums, foundations, institutions, galleries, and schools that have devoted themselves uniquely to ceramics to help us celebrate this one-of-a-kind 50th Congress Jubilee. The program includes fascinating academic and professional conferences, exciting visits and excursions to national and international exhibitions. And by the way, the views are gorgeous on the way to visit them. Dynamic breakout sessions, time for passionate roundtable debates, and quality social events to relax and network in the evening. Geneva is proud to present you an inspiring and varied Congress program this September to honor our partnership with UNESCO and those passionate about ceramics around the world, to celebrate the universality of culture. I'm going to hand you over to Jacques Kaufmann now and let him tell you a little bit about the conference program. Jacques?
Thank you, Lynn. Welcome to everyone. I think I don't have to present myself too much. I have been president of the IAC. Now I am working as and acting as Emeritus President and assisting, of course, as a partner and a member of the group in Geneva to organize this event for the Congress 2022. I was mainly in charge of the keynotes lectures and the open call lectures that we have organized. About the keynotes, I am used, as I did in Paris, to invite not only ceramic people or people from the field of ceramic, artists, critics, curators, and so on, but also to invite people from different fields who can contribute to the theme, melting pot. So I invited people from political sciences, mythology, history, psychology, of course, craft and applied art, anthropology, and alchemy, and also about the context, which will be one lecture from the former director of UNESCO in Geneva. And about the open call, I would say we wanted to invite members to contribute to the different chapters of the melting pot theme. We have received 22 applications. We have selected 8, including one not under competition, about one Ukrainian art historian who will speak about the context of ceramic in a country under war. Thank you so much. So I give the word back to Lynn, I believe.
Okay. Hi, it's Lynn again. Thank you, Jacques. We also come to IAC congresses to see old friends and to make new ones. In this post-COVID time, the 50th IAC Congress Jubilee is an excellent occasion after four years to get together to renew friendships, share information, and build connections for future ceramic projects. Pablo Picasso attended the 1955 IAC Congress in Cannes, France, and you see where that got him. All the joking aside, we have also assured that there are quality events in the evening so that you have time to relax and enjoy Geneva and socialize in good company. On Monday evening, a dinner cocktail and official ceremony has been organized here in the impressive Ariana Museum Palace to celebrate the opening of the AIC Congress and 3 IAC exhibitions. Tuesday evening, 3 museums in the Old Town of Geneva will exceptionally stay open to welcome Congress participants with a glass of Geneva friendship, better known as wine in some countries, for private guided tours of their exhibitions. Wednesday evening is UNESCO evening. This event, following the opening of the exhibition Around the World on a Plate, the United Nations Palace will be dedicated to its evolving history. It will bear witness to the dedication of the IAC and its members to pursue the values of UNESCO. I would like to add at this point that the visit is planned inside the United Nations Palace, and maybe Anja will talk about that in a few minutes. Thursday is a full day of excursions. First, we will go to the Lake of Neuchâtel, the first part of the Swiss National Exhibition Melting Pot in the Museum of Art and History in Neuchâtel. Then we will stop at the Ferme des Tilleuls in Renan to discover the Materia exhibition in honor of the historically renowned Swiss ceramists. There we will also discover the surprising Colossal d'Art Brut by Dana Jacques. It's enormous. She's from France. We will continue on to the second part of the Swiss National Exhibition that will take place in the Château de Nîmes. We will stay here to enjoy dinner and an evening on the Lake of Geneva. Thursday will be a full day. Not only will we enjoy Swiss ceramic culture, but the spectacular Swiss landscapes. Friday evening, the traditional closing dinner of the IAC Congress will be held at the Florimond Institute, one of Geneva's leading private schools and a partner of the Ariana Museum. The festive dinner will be followed by an evening of dancing, an IAC tradition. But it's not over. We're thrilled to announce that our partner, the Bruckner Foundation, has coordinated its International Parcours Céramique of Carouge, or the International Ceramic Trail of Carouge, to begin Saturday, September 17th, the day after the Congress, so you can wander the streets of charming Carouge in Geneva during the weekend to admire the famous Biennale of Contemporary Ceramics. And if you still haven't had enough ceramics, plan on staying Monday, September 19th for the Post Tour, a full day of excursions outside of Geneva. We'll be heading to Lausanne, to the MUDAC, the brand new Swiss Museum of Design and Applied Arts. After lunch, we'll head to the exhibition Melting Pot, or How to Change Lead into Gold, organized especially for the occasion by Vizartevo in the Center of Contemporary Art at Yverdon-les-Bains and in the Museum of Yverdon. The exciting day trip outside of Geneva will end at the National Museum Château de Prangin for a guided tour of their ceramics collection and a private dinner in the impressive chateau. I think I've said enough about the program for now. I'm going to pass on to Judith Schwartz in New York to talk about the breakout sessions. Thank you for your attention. Hope to see you in Geneva. Judith?
Thank you, Anja. Thank you, Lynn. I have to really thank you and your committee. You've done a marvelous job, and I know you've been working very hard. Yes, my name is Judith Schwartz, and I'm here in New York City, and I'm really delighted to be at this webinar. I'm Vice President of the IAC just for a few more months. So I've been asked to give you a kind of a sneak preview to the breakout sessions, and I'm really delighted to do so. I call them hot topics, and they're hot because they were established first in Taiwan at the Taiwan conference in 2018, and they're hot because they're only 5-minute updates, and they're from members sharing their interests and current research. The format in Taiwan was such a success that by demand, it was repeated in Barcelona and then Lapland, and now it has been brought back to Geneva. And I think now it's going to be probably a permanent fixture at our congresses, whether they're online or live. So this year, we have even more than ever breakouts. We have 22 members, in fact, which will cover diverse topics that demonstrate their passionate pursuits. I cannot cover them all here in this, but I'm going to highlight the major topics. So there'll be people talking about new technologies, community action, and social initiatives, their curatorial events and current publications, and of course, recent work. And while they are promoting global ceramics, and most importantly, reflections on this pandemic years. So thanks to David Jones and Pim Soderheim, who has been working with me on the jury. They did a great job. We have great selections and a great team. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Geneva. So that's about the breakout sessions. And now I'd like to turn our program over to Anja, who's going to be talking about the very important aspect of the IAC, and that is our exhibitions. Thank you, Anja.
So thank you, Judith. Thank you very much. My name is Anja. I'm the representative of in the Council for Switzerland, and I'm of course working together with Lynn and all the others in this organization team. And I'm actually here in this incredible museum, Ariana, in the Ariana Museum, in the backstage a little bit, where you can see in the backyard, here in the back of me, the Monsieur Rebellot, who actually built this beautiful museum, which, as Lynn said, is really a chateau. It's a palace. And it's actually the place where will take place the members exhibition. So this exhibition is was on the theme is migration, as you probably all know. And I'm also presenting all the other partners. We have about 35 partners, which are museums, and Lynn talked already about them. There will be some in Neuchâtel, which is like 1.5 hours from Geneva, and Nyon, but also the Palais des Nations. It's the United Nations Palace, which is just next door. It was actually built on the ground of Monsieur Rebellot, who gave the land to the city of Geneva. And in the idea to celebrate the 50th Congress and the 70th anniversary of the IAC, we want to come a little bit back to the cultural diplomacy and celebrate with the world tour of plates in the Palais des Nations, so in the UN building. So it's actually an exhibition which is in collaboration with the UN Women's Guild, and they collect the plates from all over the world. And then we have of course, a lot of galleries, and we managed to get to put our foot into galleries of contemporary art, but also in galleries of design and crafts. And so we have a lot of partners, and you will be able to wander around the city, see the lake, eat ice cream on the way, and have a great time, discover the young generation, also the schools. There are 2 schools in Geneva which collaborated with internationally wide with other schools. So we will have also the young generation, not only the Swiss one, but also international one. And yes, galleries all over the place. So maybe you have a question. So the question and answers, if you can see on the bottom, there is a Q&R box. So Ben, I guess, collected already some of your questions, and we will try to answer them one after the other. I've been really happy to all meet you here in Geneva. And as I don't know who said, it's after so long, it will be such a nice moment to see us physically again, hug and see how things are going went the last years. See you here in Geneva.
Okay, I'll take it from there. So first of all, I should point out that this is our first webinar. So we're all of us still kind of figuring out some of the technology. I've received some of the questions, but if there are people that are unfamiliar with Zoom, I don't know if there's anybody that's unfamiliar with Zoom at this point, but you can just type something into the chat. Everyone will be able to see it, but I can find your question that way if you don't know where else to type it. You can also use the Q&A button. That's the most straightforward way. And I think you can also, even if that's just too complicated, you can just try raising your hand and I should be able to find you in there and try to communicate with you like that. The first question that I want to address has actually come to us via email. And that concerns the members exhibition. Is there going to be a members exhibition? And I start with that question because I think I might be a person to answer that. Jacques, would you like to answer that or should I?
Please go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so this week we're going to be sending out a call for submissions for a virtual exhibition. We decided that having an exhibition in person in Geneva for various reasons was less good than having a virtual exhibition, which the entire world would be able to see, because at least to me, part of the AIC mission is to share culture as broadly and as internationally as possible. So this exhibition will allow members, any members at all, to participate and share their work. The call for submissions, as I say, will be going out this week, I hope. And yeah, anybody that wants to will be able to participate, including members that are not necessarily even artists. We're hoping that curators and writers and collectors, people that are involved in the ceramics community, will be able to submit their products, what they've been doing over the last little while as well in this format. So quite excited about it. It may set a template for future exhibitions as well. So hopefully that'll answer that question.
Ben.
Yeah, oh, nope, Jacques wants to continue. Carry on.
Yeah, I can just add one thing on that, which is what is going to be called is the best choice of the production. Might it be artwork or writing or curating or anything? So it is addressed to every categories of members, and it will be limited to 244 participants, because more will be just impossible to see. So please be aware and answer fast.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to move to the next question. Will we be able to follow the Congress online like last year? And I suppose Jacques or Lynn?
Yes, so every lecture will be recorded, but it will not be on time as in Rovaniemi. Why? Because the budget was just exploding. It was 50% more in expenses, so we had to limit the Congress to be for the people who are present on time to participate, but recorded and available after the Congress for people to see it. The General Assembly will be available for every member for free, but people will have to register. It will be translated in 4 languages, but again, the people who will assist online will not be able to ask questions live. They will need to ask questions on the chat.
Okay.
Having said this, Jack, thank you. Being able to see all of the conferences, they will be available for 6 months after the Congress, and the quality should be also quite good because they've been pre-recorded for that use. So people that are in different time zones that wouldn't be able to attend the Congress anyway in live should have access to the good quality information, and for 6 months after the Congress.
Thanks very much, Lynn. Quick question has come in about transport. Will there be transport to the evening events that you were talking about, Lynn?
The evening, if you stay in a Geneva hotel, you have a ticket for free transportation in the city of Geneva. Having said this, if you choose another lodging, you can use public transportation that's very efficient, very safe. Geneva is quite small, so no transportation is not provided, but everything is very clearly indicated in the flyer that explains all of the events. And Geneva, as I was saying, it is quite small, so I don't anticipate any problems with the public transportation.
Maybe,
excuse me, but for the excursions, of course, there is, for the Thursday excursions, that is included in the cost of the Congress. And of course, Monday for the post tour, the following Monday for the post tour, of course, it's included.
And maybe I can just add, the conference center is just next to the Place des Nations, where the main tram, which goes right through Geneva, is the end station. So there's the Congress Center. The Ariana Museum is just, you walk through a park. The Palais des Nations, the UN building, is just next door. There's another museum just next door. So you are already in a place where everything is walking distance. And then if you go back to the city, you go with a tram, which is super easy. You just hop in, it goes every 5 minutes. So transport is really very, very easy in Geneva.
Okay.
So there will be a map available for every participant in order to move in Geneva with all the streets and galleries and museums are going to be numbered. So there will be a parcours, a way to go across. And on when we will have to go to the UN headquarters for the exhibition of the plates from the world, we have only half an hour to move from the center of Congress to the UN. It is totally walkable, totally doable, but for the people who will have some difficulty for walking, always possible to book some taxi from there, and it is very, very short, and maybe share the taxi.
Okay, a couple of technical questions have come in as well. What time does the Congress start on Monday?
8:30.
What's sorry?
8:30.
Very straightforward answer to that question. What's the closest hotel to the Congress building?
I think I'd like, there was a list, there was a request on one of the chats, and we did put a list of 10 or 12 hotels that are at a maximum of a kilometer and a half, about a mile away from the conference center, and they are on public transportation. So all of the hotels are suggestions that are close to the conference center and on public transportation lines that will take you right there. Do you want to add something, Sophie?
Yes, I actually got this question as well from a member, and I actually did the comparison of all these 12 hotels that we recommended. And the closest one in terms of, say, you wanted to walk, it's under a kilometer away, is the Hôtel Les Nations. Right. Just if someone, for some reason, needed to be much closer, it's the Hôtel Les Nations. That would be the closest in terms of distance.
And I'd like to make clear also here, people were wondering why we didn't reserve a contingency of hotel rooms. We were working with the professional Congress organizer, MCI, and they said if we reserve, for example, 100 hotel rooms and they're not taken, the IAC would have to pay, let's say 30% of the cost of the unoccupied rooms. This is how it happens in Geneva since COVID. So the times have changed. Additionally, the person we're working with the professional Congress organizer, said that you can get cheaper prices going through the booking, Expedia or booking.com. Their logarithms are such that you can actually get better prices than they could get by reserving a contingency of rooms. So it was win-win. It was not laziness. It was win-win that we did not go ahead and reserve a contingency of rooms, that we just made a suggestion of the best hotels in the area.
I would just add as well, I got a message from somebody to that effect, and I think that they said, not that I'm disagreeing with you, Lynn, but they said that they booked through the at Hotel Nation as well, the National Hotel Nation, and they did it directly and got an even slightly better price than through booking.com, but that's still going to be a better rate than you would if you had booked a block of them, and that seems to be a pretty good hotel at the moment. Next question. I've got a slightly ambiguous question about when the program is going to be published. But I believe that could either refer to the timetable of events, which in which case has basically already been published. I'll let Jacques speak to that. But maybe that's also an opportunity for somebody to speak about the catalog that's just about to be published as well.
Well, I can just answer, maybe Lynn will answer about the booklet, but about the program is ready, of course. And Sophie is doing the fine tuning of every minute, what will be on the program. From 8:55 to 9:25, there will be this and so on and so on. So Sophie, I believe it is ready to be online very soon.
Yes, I'm working on it. I'm working as hard as I can.
Yeah. And the booklet, Lynn, you want to speak about it?
I think Marie Bornet, that's been working very hard on the communication. I think that's going through the fine tuning also, getting ready to go to the printer soon. Marie, maybe you can, she's listening, but she's not visible right now. We'll be able to send that out on a PDF before the Congress. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if Marie, if you can answer in the chat about that. If that'll come out, or if it will just be handed out at the Congress. I'm not sure at this point.
But anyway, we can inform at this moment the people who are listening to us that the program is really, really intense. And it will be a full week and more, 8 days, full of information in between the keynote, the open call, the breakout session, the General Assembly. And I would like to insist on the General Assembly, which I believe which will be a very important one, because we have many topics to discuss. And basically, it will be nice to have as much people to participate as well to the General Assembly in order to define what will be the road to follow in the near future.
Okay, thanks very much. Next question, is there going to be an exhibition for new members?
Maybe Ben, you can answer for that.
Well, yes, I suppose I can. I'm in the preparation of creating a presentation of all the new members that have joined in the last, well, I guess it's been 1 year technically. And this will be available live on screens in different locations throughout the kind of the campus of the Congress, and be playing on a sort of rotation slideshow, as it were, at multiple locations, and of course also be available online as we did last year. So that's their welcoming of the new members.
Yes, and I can complete with one thing, is there will be, in the first day during the official program, at the end of the day at Arena Museum, there will be a new member ceremony for the people who will be able to attend to the Congress. So they will get their diploma. The office will have to prepare the diploma, of course, as we were used to do when we were in presence. Last time was in New Taipei City. And well, I hope many new members will be able to join the ceremony.
Okay. Rather good question here. Somebody didn't see any snow in the video that we were showing at the very beginning. Any idea of what weather we might expect? And I can only say hot. At the moment it's hot.
No, not in September. September will be nice.
Yes.
Beautiful.
September will be ideal, I think. It will be before the cold sets in, but you won't have the heat of August anymore.
Right.
September is a perfect time of the year.
Agreed.
So compared to snow, yes, absolutely not. Okay, we're getting down to the end of our time here. I've probably got time for a couple more questions. I'm going to jump to this one. Is there any unofficial program during the weekend before the post tour?
Yes. Okay, Lynn, please go ahead.
Actually, before the Congress, there is nothing because there's so much going on after the Congress. So the Congress is the full week from the 12th to the 16th. As I mentioned, the Parcours Ceramique in Carouge, the Carouge Ceramic Trail in Carouge is a beautiful part of Geneva, begins Saturday. So as soon as the conferences and the Congress is over, Saturday, you can jump right into the ceramic trail in Carouge. And then that goes on for 10 days, but it's really enough activity for 2 full days to walk around. And then the post tour this year is only 1 day. It's the Monday that follows the Congress. It's just that 1 day.
How much it cost, Lynn? Do you remember?
It's 200. The post tour on Monday is 200 francs with the bus and meals. One of them happening to be in a chateau. So it's 200 Swiss francs for the day of Monday. And that is also limited to 70, the first 70 people that inscribe, because the chateau's restaurant could only take a capacity of 70 people. So that's first come, first serve for the first 70.
Okay, I'm going to take that as an answer to the question that was just asked as well. How many days is the post tour and what does it cost? So I'm thinking that that's just been answered, right? Correct? My, oh my, I'm getting things from all over the place. I've just got one kind of backward question that's now asking a question to all the people that are attending. And I don't know how they're expected to respond, but anyway, how many of the current Zoom users are anticipating attending in person this year? And how many current Zoom users are not anticipating attending in person this year? But I don't know how I can.
I would be happy to know.
To know, yeah. But I mean, but if everyone that's planning on attending, could you click on their little raise hand button? I don't know that this is exactly a scientific poll, but you see at the bottom of your screens, there's a little raised hand. Ah, look, Anja has just raised a hand. Oh, 20, 19, oh, 22, 25, okay. 27, 20, okay. So continue to please raise your hands as you, to answer that question, and I'll move on.
I don't know how to make it, you know.
So another question, I suppose, that's kind of in line with that is how many people are already sort of booked and so on. Anyway, so it looks like we've got about 24 people so far that are confirmed. So it's safe to say that one could book till the 20th when all the official programs will be over, including the post tour. Yes, that's right.
The question from Adil, I believe, is yes, people should book until the 20th. Yeah. Including because there is so much to see in Geneva and Carouge that it will be really necessary, including that people will have time to meet each other in a kind of an official moment at that occasion as well.
Okay.
I maybe would like to add that for people who don't know Geneva, Geneva has a very, it's attached to the lake. So in the middle of the city is a lake. And in September, the water is just clean and perfectly warm. There is the Rhone. You can swim in the Rhone. Everything is beautifully clean. And it's not only cultural, but you can always, at any moment of the day, hop into the sea, come out, take a meal at the lake. So it's not only culture, it's also vacation. And it's also very beautiful just to sit at the border of the river.
It is very true. I'm going to want to wrap things up very soon now, but I've just got a couple of last questions that I want to get to. Can we invite friends and non-members to the opening of the migrations exhibition? Is there a pre-booking or entry for them?
We are working on that, actually, but only invited people can participate. It is one evening sponsored by the city of Geneva, and they are asking for all the names of the people who contributed as sponsors, as event organizers, galleries, museum, and so on. So it's through invitation. This evening, the official opening on the Monday afternoon or evening, it will be a pre-opening, only by invitation. On the Thursday, it will be open to everyone.
Okay.
Ben, do you mind if I just ask,
Yes.
make a suggestion to Lynn? Lynn, the number of my North American people have asked specifically whether the organizers could prepare a map that locates the key places that we are looking at during the Congress only, you know, where Carouge is in relation to, and where some of the hotels are, and list some of the good restaurants that are not too expensive that people can congregate. A sort of like a guide to specifically to our Congress, exactly where the convention is located. And if you could also include the tram number line so that we have sort of a personal guide getting around the logistics of the Congress, that would be really helpful.
Okay.
But indeed, Judith, this has already been partially answered. There will be a map with everything described. Not, I will have to check the hotels, but at least all the venues, all the parcours, Carouge, and all this will be described very clearly, and which, how to go there, and so on, as a parcours. Maybe we can add and ask MCI to provide a map of the hotels. And of course, the CICG, the venue for the Congress, will be also mentioned in that, of course.
Yeah, but do it soon, because that will help.
It's already done. No, sorry. It's already just a few days for printing.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. Great.
And it will be also available on a PDF, of course.
Okay. I'm going to make this my last question now. I noticed that there are still a couple of other people that have got some questions. Where can I get more information about exhibitions in the Carouge? More information will be appearing online. I want to make sure that everybody has our email addresses. That there's through the website. You can also send email through there and ask questions. If your questions have not been addressed in this webinar, I can be reached at AIC-IAC.org, and Sophie is the same, except she's office, and she can be reached through that.
And Ben, sorry, I would like to answer to Karin about the 2019 new members.
Okay.
If they get certificate, yes, of course, and we will prepare that for them in order that they can also be applauded as new members, because we didn't had the chance to do it in Romania. Okay. And the last question is actually sort of from Judith. She would like to just kind of clarify the situation. First of all, that the GA, the General Assembly, is open to all members and it's free. You do need to register in order to be able to participate, but it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah. And the second part of that was for the 6 months being able to.
You need to register because we have to send you a Zoom link. A Zoom link.
Exactly. You know, obviously you can't be participating if you're not part of the. But the other question was for the 6 months afterwards, where the lectures will be available. Do people have to pay to be able to see the content of the event afterwards? Is that how much is that going to be, and so on? So if you enroll in the Congress, you have the link will be sent to you, and you have
free access. If not, the members, if I remember correctly, it's 30 francs. It's quite reasonable to have access to all of the Congress for 30 francs for members and 40 francs for non-members, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the idea was
So
to make it
it's-
accessible to students and people as well, people around the world.
It's very low price, but it will not be fair for the people who didn't register, that they don't participate as a small contribution to the whole organization.
Okay, I'm going to cut it off there. Oh, there's somebody that's nice. Thank you, Anja, for sending out information about the parcours ceramic. Look, everyone's just so eager to give away information. And so, you know, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you have any other questions. And thank you very much for attending. It's been far more fun than I thought it would be. Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you all in Geneva.
Worked very well.
so.
Thank you.
Hope so. Hope
Bye,
so.
everyone. See you in Geneva.
Please come. Please join.